Okay, good morning, everybody. So welcome to this webinar. Today, we will have an overview of novelties in SpagoBI 5, the new release of SpagoBI. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Alessandra Toninelli. I work as consultant for the SpagoBI Business Intelligence Suite in the SpagoBI labs based in Italy. So today we'll have like half an hour. We will see an overview of the main novelties with SpagoBI. There are more specific webinars next week, so I will talk about that afterwards. Today we'll have a kind of overview. So let me first present the company. So let me tell you who we are, and then what is SpagoBI and what it does, it can do, and the main novelties in SpagoBI 5. So we are part of a huge company. What is the engineering group? The engineering group is basically the first IT company in Italy. It's a huge player in the IT domain as system integrator and business integrator and provider of consulting, outsourcing, and so on. As you can see, we have big numbers, so more than 7,000 professionals in Italy and all over the world. And this is already an international dimension. We have offices in Brazil, for example, Argentina, Belgium, and in Serbia. Within engineering group, we as SpagoBI Labs are part of the research and innovation division. So the company has a division which is devoted to bringing innovation to the market where we work. So innovate through technologies and methodologies and so on. And SpagoBI Labs are a part of this division. So I personally belong to SpagoBI Labs. We are a relatively small set of professionals, but then we have partners and integrators worldwide. So there's a community supporting SpagoBI, which is the business intelligence product. We as SpagoBI Labs, basically we develop the product, so the BI suite. We provide professional services, consulting, maintenance, support, and so on. We carry on research activities in terms of research and innovation, so it's always with an eye on, real needs and the market. And we, let's say, manage and encourage the community to grow. So this is the framework of reference for you to know who we are. And now, who is SpagoBI? SpagoBI is a solution for business intelligence. It is a suite because it is composed of multiple products, multiple functionalities. It is one product with multiple functionalities, analytical functionalities. What I would like to stress here, and I think it is important, especially if you don't know the product, to give you some elements from the business viewpoint. SpagoBI is entirely open source. This means there is no double licensing system, which is very common. Very few open source vendors that remain on the BI market typically have a double license system. So you have a community edition, the express edition, and then you have the, fully working and with all functionalities edition. We have one stable version. It's one version. It is the one you can find on the Forge, and you can download it freely. You can download and use SpagoBI, anything, any functionality, any engine, whatever, without having to pay any costs associated to license, any cost associated to the product itself. You can use it freely, and this is true. This means that you can use the product, and this is totally decoupled from the services you may need. So we provide professional services, consultancy, maintenance, support, but this is totally decoupled from the use of the product. You are not locked to buy our services in order to use the product. I want to stress this because this is an important difference for you to have a clear idea of what SpagoBI is. Another important point regarding the license is that SpagoBI is released with an open source license. Maybe we'll talk about in more detail, which allows, it protects the freedom of using the code, but it allows the embedding of SpagoBI into commercial products. So this means SpagoBI can be embedded in other products, which can be commercial. And actually, this is the case because we have done this personally and other integrators. So remember that you can evaluate the integration of SpagoBI in commercial products, even if it is open source, because the license is oriented to the market anyway. So we know this is one of the possibilities for you to use SpagoBI. So this said, I think it's important for you to have the general idea. Let me switch to the content, what SpagoBI provides. SpagoBI is really today a unique solution because it's the only open source solution providing such a huge number of analytical functionalities, starting from visual query builder, from different type of data source. It can be a file, relational database, and so on. A new OLAP client, totally renewed, analysis for big data, predictive analysis. So we have a new what-if component. This is one of the main novelties. Self-service analysis with in-memory Cockpit. So in-memory analysis to realize dashboards, cockpits, with data mashup, and then advanced analysis such as location intelligence and so on, as well as a new feature which is coming, that is social listening, like, for example, sentiment analysis. This is just to give you the idea of how many things you can do. Today, we will have a look at the main novelties with the new release. First, so before going to a very short demo, this is the overall structure of SpagoBI. So the server, and what you see at the center of this chart, is the core. It is a functional core. It means this is the component that provides analytical functionalities. Technically speaking, this is a web application that runs under a web application server, and those functionalities are provided as web applications. This means we are compliant also with web technologies, and this is the core component. But of course, we know that when you develop, for example, a business intelligence project, you have a life cycle, you have a development cycle. So the studio is the environment for the BI developer to build reports. It's an integrated environment. It's an Eclipse plugin. The Meta is the design environment for business models. So you build your business model that is a logical model on top of the physical model made of tables. So that you can have, for example, business classes that have a meaningful, logical sense other than columns and tables. Then, if you want to integrate or simply call programmatically, call SpagoBI programmatically, you have the SDK at your disposal. And then we also have the applications. Applications basically are vertical analytics. There are already some existing applications, for example, Spago4Q, which is a vertical analytic for and analyzing the quality of software, but there are also vertical analytics for the healthcare domain, financial domain, and so on. And of course, you can build your own if you want. Okay, so this said, we can move to analytical features. Here you have, It's just to show how many things you can do. So you have reports, charts, composed documents. You have more advanced type of analysis, like, for example, network analysis. You have location intelligence. You have real-time analysis. You have KPI. You have OLAP navigation. Basically, the thing is, probably you don't need all of them, but with SpagoBI, in one product, you have all these features, and you can pick the ones you need. You don't need to take it all, so to say. You can start with the functionalities you need and then add more and more, which is also an advantage because it's a modular architecture and you can go step by step. But remember, you have such a huge set of analytical features which you can use. I would like to present those features with this grouping because I think it may help you, unless you already know what you need. But this is to show what you can do with SpagoBI. So basically, we start from ready-to-use analysis. This means reports or charts, which can also be very interactive. I mean, it doesn't mean static. KPI documents, charts and reports that run on mobile devices, which are developed by the BI developer. Someone has designed a report for you, or you have designed a report for your client, let's say, and then it is ready for execution. It will take data, show the analysis, it's interactive, whatever. Then, if you want something more, close to the ability of the user, you have a set of functionalities. We have called them build by yourself. This means you as a final user, query data, you build your own report, so ad-hoc reporting, self-service BI, you build your cockpit. So the new in-memory cockpit goes in this direction. You put charts together, data sets together, and then, okay, 5 minutes, you have the dashboard done. This is the idea. And clearly, it is typically targeted to the final user with little technical experience, let's say, or knowledge or skills, but who knows what he's looking for. And so he can quickly build analysis. Then we have explorative tools. This means I want to navigate data. So, for example, the OLAP queue, which we will briefly see, and all the visual inquiring tools. So this is to navigate data, to explore them. And finally, a wide set of advanced analysis. So analytical features from location intelligence to data mining, which is also new. We have fully integrated R with SpagoBI, the real-time network analysis, predictive analysis with what if, and social listening. Just one pointer, I will remind you later again. If you haven't already registered, there is a webinar, actually there are webinars about in-memory cockpits and what-if analysis next week. So if you're particularly interested in these topics, I suggest you join those webinars because these are specific on those topics, which are, the main novelties in SpagoBI 5. Okay, now I will switch directly to a demo. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let us go, okay, on SpagoBI. Let's see if I'm still logged. Let me check if everyone is still here and if you can properly see. Okay. Okay, so this is I have an instance of SpagoBI on my machine. Let me show you, for those who are already familiar with SpagoBI, I logged as a business user. If you go to the Forge and download the all-in-one, you will have this kind of predefined instance of the server. And the nice thing is that you have a number of documents. You can see analysis that are prepared for you, so you can have a look and see what you can do. Of course, today we don't have time to go through all of them, but I want to show you the main novelties. So beyond a number of charts, reports you can build, let me just show you, for example, the new cockpit. The new cockpit is based on in-memory analysis. So basically the idea, and as I said, I will be very quick here because there's a webinar dedicated. The idea is that you can have data sets possibly from different sources, and you can put them together so you really have mashup of data. And here you can already see there's a box for each chart or table, whatever you want to see. And you see you can singularly edit all of this. Sorry that we don't have time, but okay, let me just show you. If I click here, I open the editor so I can change the chart, I can change the color, blah, 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 and so on. And the logic that is implemented beyond the data is that, for example, okay, let's suppose we just want mail here. All the documents here, the analysis in this cockpit, so the charts, the table, get refreshed based on the selection because there is an association between those data. And remember, those data sets can come from different sources, which is very interesting. I mean, for the potential that gives you. But you will learn more in the webinar. Here, just to show that this is all done by drag and drop. So I can just move, and you see, I could even resize, move it, and so on. But okay, you can see this example. Now let's move to the new OLAP client, because this is something I want to show you today. You have examples here. So from the cockpit, these are analysis, I mean, more simple one, build it yourself. Then we go to the new OLAP client. So if you know SpagoBI, you know what was the OLAP client look like. Now we have changed it, so we have a new, totally new interface, which is, honestly, it's nicer. And I mean, this is important. It's not because it's nice, but of course this will be given to someone for use. So it's important this is user-friendly. It is nicer to see. Okay, as usual, you can have, I mean, navigate the data and so on. You have a number of options. So, for example, I want to swap rows. I mean, rows means, well, actually, this is columns in the end. I mean, but it's rows in the cube. So you can see I have switched it. I want to switch columns and rows. I want to see measures in the rows, okay, and that's it. It's done. So it's very, very easy. It's quick. It's intuitive. Okay, here above, I can change the way I navigate the cube. And I can, for example, set filters. So if I click here, for example, I want to see data. These are data about sales that only refer to, I don't know, daily paper. And you see how easy this is. Of course, you can configure everything, and you present this cube to the final user. This is very clean, very easy to use. Navigation is much clearer than before. Then, okay, this is, sorry, I have this very fancy thing, which is covering, okay. You also have advanced options for those who want to see the query. For example, I want to hide spans. I don't know, let's say he will change you know, the layout. I can suppress empty rows and columns, for example. You see, removed empty rows. It's very easy. This is, you can see it's nice, user-friendly. One thing, if you already have OLAP cubes with the old client, don't worry, it is still there. But if you need to build something new, well, the new one is much nicer and user-friendly and powerful. Then, as I said, you have okay, so location intelligence, free inquiry, and so on. And the other new feature is the what if. Basically, the what if analysis is based on a cube. The base structure is a cube. So you see, it's apparently the same interface. But what you can do, so for example, now I will split, I will navigate a bit and drill into this cube. What I can do is, for example, I assume, I don't know, the sales about bread next year will be increased of this quantity. What happens, as said, I'm going very quickly, join the webinar, but the point is, depending on the kind of algorithm you have implemented here, and there are some default, you can choose among them, but you can also implement that. You will be able to implement your algorithm. Now, based on different algorithms, it will spread this value on leaves and the root. So you have this propagation of the change you have done. You can change of a percentage, for example, and then you see what happens. And then you can save your versions. So you can save, you have multiple versions. Once you're happy, Okay, that's it. But this is a really important support tool. So I don't want to run out of time, but I really wanted to show you hands-on what you can find here. Let me switch back to the presentation. And so luckily we have seen these features, the new OLAP client, hands-on, the what-if analysis. Okay, so this was the old one. I'm sure you agree it's much better. and I mean, more functionality. The first, okay, this is important. This is the only what-if solution in open source products. So really, I want to stress this. And again, join the webinar and the in-memory analysis with new cockpits. Okay, so these are the main novelties. One important thing, integration with big data. SpagoBI has already interfaces to most big sources of data, basically, of big data. And basically, you build the SpagoBI dataset. This is abstraction provided by SpagoBI, and then you can build on top of this further analysis. So this is interesting, using traditional tools, but also more advanced things like, for example, R, the R engine. This is very important. This is another important point. We have this integration of R in the data mining engine. This is very important because R, as you may know, is very powerful. So you have a number of advanced analysis and visualization that is potentially very high, and you can build them within SpagoBI by accessing big data as well, because you have this kind of access. So you can see how many things you have, and it's still full open source, which is, really a unique case. And one important point, probably you have read somewhere that data scientists are now the new, the most important professional figure in the IT market. Well, the thing is, SpagoBI now targets data scientists and is a tool to support them in their task. So you can see how many visualization you may have and so on. Okay, the demo, we have already shown it. Before having a look at the roadmap, I would like to answer some questions. So, okay, one thing, let me just show you, this is important. I have been asked about resources, so where you can find documentation. Okay, if you go to the new website, have a look because it's rich, it's new. Under the services, you see, tab, you see a number of interesting menu items. Okay, if you go to documentation, you can see here, okay, the user manual, we have just released it. This is for free. So you can download it for free by the from the shop. You just need to register, but it's for free. This is a manual for the final user. So it means it shows how to, for example, build self-service cockpit, ad hoc reporting, self-service BI, geolocation self-service as well. So this is meant for the final user. This is a very good guide for the end user. We also have the book. The book is, it refers to version 3.5. We are going to release a series of books, probably of books. It will be a series actually on SpagoBI 5 and later. But just one note, if you are in doubt whether the book can be useful, I suggest you drop us an email, not because we want to sell a copy of the book, but because many topics that are covered by the book are still the same. So apart from new functionalities, new engines, some things remain the same. So I suggest you drop us a line asking, okay, I need this and this. Is the book still good? Because there's a good chance it is, and it is a good documentation source. So just for you. And then, okay, this was about SpagoBI 4. Then, in the free support area, you have forums, you have the tracker, for bugs, and you have the wiki. In the wiki, you can find information. Of course, this is free support, so this is best effort. And, okay, I take the chance to answer another question. In the same place, you can find the overview of professional services we provide. So you can see, basically, we provide from more technical user support, so like you ask questions and we reply. We have maintenance of the product. We also provide full consultancy. for projects, for example. We can help you building a project. We can build a project. We provide training on site and on premises. I mean, there are a number of options. And so if you want to have a look, here you have an overview. And then please drop us an email to SpagoBI@eng.it, and I will show you. So documentation, as you can see, and professional services. This is I got a couple of questions, maybe 3 on this. I think this is important. Here you can find information. Okay, so and one other thing that I have noticed. Okay, so I have been asked before regarding the license. As I said, the license is MPL version 2. It's Mozilla license. You can go to the website and find all information. If you have doubts, here you see we have a license place. If you have doubts, you can write us. But remember, this is a license that protects the freedom to use the code. So no cost associated with the license. It's open source, but you can consider embedding it in a commercial product. I think this is important. And I want to stress this. As I said, there is a license section in the website. Please don't hesitate to ask because it's important. And since I see here the contributors section, another important point. If you think you want to contribute to SpagoBI, you want to, let's say, work with us adding a functionality, you think you have a project which may help developing a functionality, this is also an interesting scenario, and it actually brings me back to the roadmap. So if I show the roadmap, okay, that's the roadmap of SpagoBI, but please remember that we are, let's say, open. SpagoBI is a product that grows with real needs from projects, for example, and partners. So, I mean, we do have a roadmap, but we are always open. And if you think there is something interesting, you are working on a project, you want to contribute as integrator, as partner, please don't hesitate to contact us because we value the role of the community. And it also means that SpagoBI grows with experience with projects, real BI projects, so with our customers, with our partners, and so on. It's not a monolithic product. It's not closed. I mean, it has a roadmap because SpagoBI has an identity and an evolution. But this is also made of, the evolution of SpagoBI is also made of the experience and the real experience we have on projects. So we value the experience you may have, and if you want to contribute, you're very welcome to do so. Okay, this roadmap is very, very full, so I'm not expecting you to read everything, but just to show you that we have big novelties in SpagoBI 5, the new OLAP client, the what-if analysis, the memory cockpit. We are, of course, still working on them because we will enrich functionalities on those. So it's still, I mean, it will get better and better and better because we are working on that. We are always working to make the product better. We also have interest in not only in big data, because with big data we are already involved. Of course, we're interested in enriching our analytical capabilities for big data. And we are also moving in the direction of open data and linked open data as well. So we are active on those topics as well. You can keep this in mind. And very soon we will release a functionality with SpagoBI for social listening. So this will be a part, basically a component of SpagoBI for social listening. It's a component that is able to collect and analyze information basically coming from the web, for example, tweets, and provide you with analysis on this. So you can get insights, for example, sentiment analysis, you can evaluate a campaign, visibility, interest, and so on. This is also a very hot topic. And it's very relevant, I mean, because now many things happen on social networks on the web. And again, let me stress, this is the only open source product for social listening and analysis. So this is really important. This will, the social listening will come out very, very soon, probably with the 5.1. So stay tuned. Okay, and as I said, stay tuned. Keep in mind that we are open to the community. We welcome contributions. We are at your disposal for information. So here you have the address, www.spagobi.org, and the address spagobi@eng.it. Please drop us an email. For information, and you can follow us on Twitter as well, and stay tuned because the 5.1 release will soon come, so more novelties, more interesting things. I think we have, we're running out of time. I hope this was interesting for you, and as I said, please keep following us. And okay, just one thing, this is important. Remember, okay, that the next webinars are scheduled for next week, and they will be about in-memory analysis. So build your own cockpit, and predictive analysis. So what if analytics, and finally, we also have a webinar on big data. So if you have particular interest in these topics, stay tuned. All the webinars are scheduled for the next 2 weeks. So I hope we will see you again, and I hope this was interesting. Thank you very much for the moment. Hope to see you again. Goodbye.